What's your reaction to California proposing a bill that would prohibit former ICE agents from becoming police officers or teachers? I'd rather have a law that bars any law enforcement officers, who've lost a criminal or civil case because of abusing people's rights, from employment as a cop. I think there are a lot of other jobs that involve interacting with the public. Picking those two is a baby step start in the right direction, but there's a long way to go. Makes sense to me. You don't want people in these trusted roles who have had improper training. ICE agents don't get enough training and are not trained to protect civil rights. Then they go out and get experience doing things the wrong way. That's a lot of training and experience that would have to be undone if we wanted them in jobs that actually protect our citizens. That's just good sense. You mean the organization that murdered 2 U.S. citizens in the street? Yeah, I'm good with them not being involved with schools. We have enough school shootings as it is. It's the usual legislative overreach for the purpose of achieving political points with their base. However, it is very likely unconstitutional. If you are willing to drag parents out of their house and forcibly separate them from their children, you should not be allowed to teach those children, or any others for that matter. And if any of these guys were qualified to be cops, they would have already done it. If you can be comfortable with continuing to work ICE after the authorized operations they were told to do, you cannot be trusted. This is my first time hearing about this bill, so I can't speak for the specifics, but in general I think that it might be a good idea to discourage government employees from switching to more subsidiary branches, e.g. federal to state or state to local. Seems like a potential conflict of interest. Teacher is too broad of a title, so I'm not sure what I think about it without reading the bill. Not a conservative, but sounds like some Russian-ass political prisoner stuff to me. I strongly feel that we don't need to stoop to Trump's level, but I get downvoted when I say it. Yeah, known racists shouldn't be allowed to become teachers or cops. Entirely reasonable. They should add medical practitioners too. ICE agents train with IDF soldiers. They're the last people you'd want in your police force and education system. It's better than a lot of people want for them. My reaction is that it eliminates a lot of bad policing and terrible school teachers due to extreme prejudices. I think people should be judged on their individual actions, not just where they worked. If someone committed misconduct, they shouldn't be a police officer or teacher. But a blanket ban on all former ICE employees seems like it could punish people regardless of their personal record. It's an utterly ridiculous idea that appeals to the most progressive parts of the Democratic political base and nobody else. I wouldn't be surprised if this was done as a move to boost the author's appeal in the recent primary elections. That if this actually does get any momentum and makes it out of the CA state legislature, it would probably be yet another thing to harm Gavin Newsom's image leading up to the 2028 presidential election. Veto it, and it pisses off the progressive wing of the Democratic base. Sign it, and he's opened up to an incredibly easy line of attack by the Republicans. Regardless of people's feelings, this seems illegal. Maryland already did it. I'd go one step further and have a bill that jails them and we track them down like they do supposed immigrants. It doesn't go far enough. They should be banned from holding elected office, banned from working for the government, and banned from working for any company that's working for the government. It's what dishonorably discharged troops experience, and it's a fitting punishment for civilian traitors as well. It's totally appropriate. Sounds pretty good to me. Maybe a moot point, as they both have higher criteria for their hiring. Former ICE experience doesn't automatically disqualify someone from reform. If I was a corrupt police chief, couldn't I falsely accuse someone I don't want in my department of being a former ICE agent so they'd get suspended pending investigation? Police officers and teachers need to pass background checks. There are no background checks for ICE agents. You can propose a bill that says 100% of all tax dollars from now on should go directly into research that allows domesticated pets to live as long as humans. As much as some people might agree with the bill, it still needs to be voted on and actually pass. We have to wait and see what the people want. Nobody cares in reality. Some people don't like police in general, until they need them. If you're an ICE agent, there isn't much incentive to go local police in a state that will stab you in the back. It's nothing more than a dumb law that say, hey, look at us. We are doing something. It's only sensible. You know that they've been badly trained and taught a culture that's bad for the community. Hiring former ICE agents for any public-facing role would be like hiring a surgeon from the school of no hand-washing. Assuming this is just a hypothetical, I'll take a shot. I guess signing up for ICE was a pretty sweet payday, if they ever actually got paid, which can cause some decent, desperate people to make bad choices. I'm thinking some kind of community service should be required first. Fuck them. They can work as police station janitors. Great proposal. They don't want to show their face, they absolutely don't need to be police or teachers. Bar all men with a DV perp history from any job that allows him a firearm, any relevant authority position or working in close proximity with women and children. This is a great idea, as it would prevent future gathered citizens' information from returning to ICE. Pleased, and I wish they'd go farther to weed out law enforcement who left other departments to escape discipline/firing just to join somewhere else with a clean record. It's already tough enough to be a cop, now they have less people to hire from. Policing and teaching are dependent on trust, and I don't think it will be possible to trust anyone who accepted a paycheck for doing what ICE has been doing. At first when I read this I was like, hell yeah. But the more I read through comments and thought about it, I don't think it's a great idea. Like others have mentioned, the people as individuals can be different from the organization as a whole. It's like any other form of LE, there are some truly great cops out there that take their job and rights of others seriously. Then there are others who, don't, to put it mildly. Blanket bans like that don't help anyone. Now, if there's something in there about it being specifically related to officers who had complaints, then that makes more sense. Either way, I think additional training should absolutely be required, for anyone, but workshops on how to de-escalate things with kids and proper restraints so they're not hurt as well as how to regulate their own emotions is a must. Love it. Former Gestapo can do something far, far away from guns and domination. I'd say that it's letting former ICE officers off easy. It's a whole lot less than I'd like to see happen to them. Seems like an emotionally driven bill not based on any reasonable arguments. Though no source was provided to the bill by OP and no specific points were pointed out, so difficult to say what the bill actually is about. If an ICE agent, or any other law enforcement person, can be seen abusing power, like using unjustified violence, racism etc., even if their superior told them to do so, then they should be held accountable and be convicted. People who are convicted from crimes that show poor fitment for police or teacher work shouldn't be able to become police or teachers, if better options are available. I think it's a great idea to keep those assholes away from kids and the public. ICE has attracted some really fucking awful people, and I don't want them moving from one agency to another when they decide they want more authority to abuse, so that seems pretty legit actually. Good, take it even further, make them complete pariahs who can't work or live anywhere. Not good, enforcing immigration law is entirely a reasonable profession. The degree to which some people are against enforcing existing immigration laws, the same laws ICE enforced under Obama, with more deportations under Obama, continues to boggle the mind.